Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Rob. We are joined today by Dave.
Hello.
We are both fresh from our first hands-on with Battlefield 6. And I will start by saying I absolutely sucked massively at the game. I think we were up against some pretty decent Battlefield players.
Well, we were playing as part of the reveal event,
yes.
So we were playing against some of the best Battlefield players in the world.
Yeah.
And I will totally admit, I too was deeply average. I think we were both securely mid-table, and I think that's
being generous.
Maybe even a little generous. I think that's important though, because I think you're going to get a lot of videos from people who know Battlefield inside out and their experience of it. And if you're an excellent player, perhaps this isn't the video for you. But if you're more of a casual player, I'm serious. If you're more of a casual player, we played this game. As I said, I've been thinking about it loads. I massively enjoyed it, despite not being at the top of the leaderboard.
No.
Getting massive kills every time. I had loads of fun. Yes, killing, but also in support roles, driving vehicles, and basically just existing in the maps, which I think are unbelievable.
This is one of the things I want to talk about. We got a little taste of various bits. Let's talk about the classes first of all, because I noticed you playing as, I looked over your shoulder and saw you had a sniper rifle at one point.
Yeah, I like to dabble in a bit of recon. I'm, again, deeply average, but sometimes you'll just get lucky with an amazing headshot and you feel like a hero, and there's no immediate recompense because that person's miles away.
Yes.
I do really enjoy playing as a sniper in all kinds of first-person shooters, and I think they are particularly menacing in like a Battlefield.
Definitely.
I think again, the maps are often sprawling and large, and there is loads of opportunity to find your spot and take your time and support your team in a way that's maybe not so easy in other first-person shooter games, where it's a little bit more individual and a little bit more kind of roaming. I did spend some time as a recon. Obviously spent a lot of time as the assault class. I tried each of them a little bit, but I did enjoy my time as recon.
I only spent a little time as the assault class, and then
really?
My favourite class is engineer.
Yes.
I love being the engineer. Decent combat capabilities, but I love the little fixing tool, and I really like having anti-aircraft and anti-tank rocket launchers on hand.
Yes.
They're the class they're good for the vehicles on your team, bad for the vehicles on the enemy's team.
Yes.
And we were in the Siege of Cairo map, which I think was probably my favourite map of the ones that we got hold of. A large-scale map, but with little areas that feel quite tight.
Yeah.
And you feel quite hemmed in by the streets and the buildings. But it's also big enough and wide enough for tank warfare.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed being in a tank, first and foremost. When I managed to spawn in a tank, whether I was driving it or in the gunner's seat.
Yeah.
Just something incredibly fun and satisfying about just chugging through bricks and more. We'll talk about the destruction in a sec.
Yeah.
But being able to counter the enemy's tanks, I just felt like I was actually being useful.
Yes.
The main time I felt I was really helping my team out. And there was one time where I got this great shot on an enemy tank, blew it up, and then immediately blew up a group of, I think, 3 or 4 of their guys who were on a rooftop. And the bit of the roof they were on just crumbled, and they all came down. Oh, it was the best bit of my entire
That is glorious. And I think you've nailed one of the things that sets Battlefield apart, which is that you can really make a contribution, even if you're not shooting loads of people and running around being a sort of hero. I love reviving people in this game. I love, again, as you said, being the engineer, repairing tanks. I had some time in the driver's seat of a tank, and just slowly making my way through the streets with a guy at the back who's just constantly topping me up with his little blowtorch.
Yeah.
I was just like, I loved that guy. I don't know who it was. I was just like, I loved that I was getting some heat and he would come out.
It might be me.
It might have been you. It might have been you. And I think that's so, that is something that Battlefield is so good at, is making sure that There are roles for everybody. And just driving a tank or any vehicle really can be a role, even if you're not shooting people or doing much killing. Just keeping that tank or for your team on alive and giving people a place to spawn that's near the action, like that is an actual role you can play.
It is really good. I found the most fun. I started out as an assault class because I feel that's what you always do when you pick up a shooter for the film. I'll be the assault class. And I basically just spent a lot of time running around getting killed. And then I immediately just had way more fun doing other more useful things as the other classes. Like I didn't play as a support class, but I really appreciated the people who were playing as a support class because you can lay down like ammo drops and little temporary bits of cover as well. I don't know if you noticed any of those.
Yeah, I did,
and so you're not just the medic, you're support. You're actually, and I remember thinking every time I came across a little bit of ammo, I was like, I love the support people on my team.
Yeah, and we should talk about rezzing people and being a medic as well. In as much as I found it was really interesting that when you're downed in this game, you can't move. You're static. And I found every time I was looking towards my team and I was sort of moving the thumbstick as if like just crawl over there, and you can't. You're completely static, so you're very dependent on people coming to you, and you can sort of call for their help, but when they do get to you, they can actually pull you into cover.
This is one of the standout things for me.
I totally agree. It looks like war. It looks visceral and scary, and like, you know, having someone just try and get you into a better place where they can properly revive you. It's so like breathless and cool but scary, and as that person who's just lying there, you feel so helpless and really, you know, when someone came over, I was always so grateful. I was like, thank you. And, you know, making that decision it feels like more of a decision than ever really as to whether just to give up and just respawn, or to hang there and try and get someone's attention, or you know, hope that someone comes and
when you're
helps
playing
you out.
When you're playing in the mode breakthrough, especially when you're either attacking or defending, reviving and just keeping that squad core of people, that number of people together for as long as possible is so crucial.
It is,
because as soon as you tap out and you have to respawn, you have to join from further away, you can quickly, the tide of it can turn very quickly on.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so there are a few times where I was cooling for a respawn, and I had selfish teammates just ignoring me. But as you say, when someone does grab you and you get pulled around a corner to be safely revived, it feels great. But also, it makes reviving fun. It's just incredibly fun, satisfying mechanic to do. And it encourages you to revive people, I think, because it's just fun to, I'll just drag you, because you feel like a badass.
Yeah, you do. You feel like you're saving someone's life, like moving them out of harm's way and bringing them back into the game. And like you said, this is a game, and there are particular modes where you are really doing your team a disservice if you're not rezzing people. You've reached a particular point in the map, and it's like, we need to try and hold this and get as many people here as we can. Rezzing people is super important, and again, I think all these different things, as you said, it felt really fun. All these different things felt fun, despite being, like I said, not great at this game. I had so much fun, and I want to play it again, and I want to try different ways to support my team. I'd like to get a lot better at the shooting too. And it's still loads of fun, but I really appreciate that. Aside from that, you feel like you were contributing, and you have fun by contributing in other ways. It's great.
Let's talk about the destruction, because that's like one of the headline features of Battlefield, and always has been. A lot was made in the reveal presentation live stream that we saw about the sophistication of the destruction. We interviewed a couple of members of the development team as well, who we were asking, how is this? It feels too good to be true. You can literally just destroy entire buildings. I mean, that's always been sort of a thing you can do, but like the level at which you can do it now is more detailed and more sophisticated than ever before.
I think before it was a bit more set piecey, wasn't it? It was often sort of, you could trigger events and things like that, or there were very specific things that could be destroyed in certain ways, certain specific ways. This is completely different, and this is a phrase that gets banded around quite a lot, but I think it's valid here, that it's a game-changing feature.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely incredible, and it made every game on the same map completely different. It made every moment on the same map completely different. We played just a kind of we played a small domination map, and it was much more intense because it was quite a small area, which meant I started to get to know that map whilst we were playing it, and would see, like, I had a route from like between A and B that I had plotted out that was like, this is the route I like to take, and slowly as that game went on, the route changed because the destruction changed. Places where I previously was stopping in some cover and was looking out over B and, you know, maybe getting some shots at people. So one time I went in there and the cover was just gone. Something had happened in that room. It was completely destroyed. And being in cover now in these maps feels so fragile. I was again in Cairo. I was just in the corner of a building. I had like in a corner, like first floor room. It had a couple of windows, and I was peeking out trying to lay some covering fire down. And at some point, the enemy team spotted me, and they all started shooting at me. And the room is just falling apart, and there's a tank that started firing at me. And you just realise I'm in real trouble now. Like, this would usually have been quite a safe spot, and if I just stay behind, if I don't look out of the window, I'll be okay.
That's like first person online first person shooter rule 101 is if you're being shot, just quickly duck behind the window, take a breath, get back in the room. But in Battlefield 6 it's not possible. It's not the guaranteed safe spot that you think it is.
No, it's really not.
And obviously you can't just rip a building to shreds with a basic assault rifle. You need slightly more explosive weaponry than that. But yeah, like you say, the maps, they change.
And I think a lot of work has gone into that. You know, one of the questions I think everyone has is, well, can you just destroy everything? Can you just flatten the map? And I think the good answer we got from one of the developers was really like, there isn't enough firepower in a map to flatten it. So you can distribute that firepower that you have in various different ways, and you can certainly flatten parts of it. But you're never going to flatten a map completely, because that wouldn't be fun. You know, it wouldn't be fun to just be in a completely coverless, flat sort of desert of rubble. But the way in which the map is destroyed is different every time, I think, because of how players play every time, and it's just incredibly cool to witness and see it change. It's felt just so fresh every time, and genuinely, again, it really made me feel like I was in an actual battle. My heart was racing in these moments, and when you're found out and suddenly people turn their attention on you, it's not enough to be behind cover in any way, shape or form, and you really realise it. And I was just kind of trying to think then, well, how am I going to get out of this? What can I do?
We were interviewing Alan Pym, the UX designer, who, and something he said stuck with me, is that we don't do set pieces.
No.
You do set pieces.
Yes.
And that really rang true, because it's not the same thing every time. And so you don't get conditions to the set piece. It's not like you don't do a certain thing and it just triggers something in the environment. And there was one time I was running through Cairo, following my squad mates, and an enemy tank must have blown up a section of the wall next to me. And it didn't kill me, but just the timing of the explosion, I just had like plant pots, bits of masonry, just like all over. The sound of it as well. I mean, DICE's audio department is renowned for being one of, if not the best there is. And so the destruction, combined with the sound, combined with the noise of just bullets and rockets exploding and ricocheting all over the place. It was like I was in the middle of a set piece, but one that I didn't know was going to happen. And didn't happen again the next time I went past that. So it just, you have this kind of spontaneity and unpredictability in every map.
That's exactly it, I think, is also because every moment is kind of unique, every match is unique. It means that you have these moments that will never be repeated, that will be stories to tell in a way you just don't get in other first-person shooters. I think in other first-person shooters, I have a story, like, you know, I came around the corner and there was a bunch of them. I knew they were there. I'd thrown a grenade and someone else ran in, and I ended up getting 5 kills in one, and then, it's like repeatable, predictable, kind of coincidental things. This is like, you can be, because the maps are so detailed and intricate and interesting as well. I think that every time you play will be different, but it will lead to these real memorable exchanges. Like I can literally picture what I was describing earlier of being pinned down in this particular corner. Like that sticks with me, and that might never happen again. That building might be destroyed next time I play the map or whatever. I just think like it makes for these real like stories you will want to share with other people, and these kind of moments that will be just very unique, and that's really unusual in an online multiplayer game. I think
even when you're on the receiving end of this stuff, there's a degree of excitement to it.
Definitely.
I think when we were playing Breakthrough, we were the defending team. I think it got to the stage where the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
And every time we respawned, we just had to... The only respawn point was HQ.
Yeah.
And they were just on top of us. So as soon as you respawn, you're just...
in trouble.
You're making your last stand, basically.
Yeah.
And the intensity of it, I remember thinking, my God, this is something else. Like I'm like 90 minutes into experiencing this map through various modes. It's like I've not had a moment like this on this map yet.
No.
And it just made me think, man, these maps they're not just big, but they are flexible as well. Well, Battlefield 6, if you do manage to play during the beta, let us know what you make of the game in the comments. We are going to have lots more on Battlefield 6 in the run-up to its release on October the 10th. Can't wait to play more.
Me neither.
We'll see you again soon.